There is a leaked Microsoft project going on right now called Windows K2, and it is not an update, it is a new version of Windows. It's not anything you can download, it's something much bigger than that, and if it's real, it could change how Windows gets made from the ground up. Now, in this video, I want to break down two things that are really just one thing if you look closely. First, what K2 actually is and why it might matter. And second, the updates Microsoft just rolled out this May, which, and this is the part that surprised me, actually look like the leak plan already showing up in the real world. So that's the interesting bit. This isn't just a promise. There's already proof. Let's get into it. So let's start with the basics, because the name K2 is honestly a little misleading. It's kind of sound like it should be a Windows version or some big update with a code name. It's neither one of those things. K2 is an internal initiative, basically a shift in mindset, a new set of priorities that Microsoft is pushing onto the people who actually build Windows. It's not something you install. It's something that's supposed to change everything you install after it. The simplest way to think about it is that K2 is an umbrella. You remember a while back Microsoft put a memo about caring more about user feedback and fixing bugs, and they had the whole swarm thing where teams dropped what they were doing to hunt down bugs all at once. A lot of people treated that as its own separate story. But it turns out that the swarm was never really standalone, it was just the first visible piece of the bigger K2 effort. So when you hear K2, think of it as a master plan, and that memo was one chapter of it. And the core message of K2, if I had to squeeze in one single sentence, is basically stop shipping junk. Stop pushing out features nobody asked for just so a team can say they hit their deadline. The leak suggests Microsoft is flat out telling its own developers that getting something out of the door quickly is no longer the goal, that the quality of the thing matters more than the speed of the thing. Which, I mean, that should be obvious, but the fact that they apparently had to say it out loud internally tells you a lot about how things have been over there. So K2 is built around three core pillars, and they're easy enough to keep straight. Performance, craft, and reliability. Performance and reliability mostly explain themselves. Performance is whether the thing runs fast and doesn't hog your resources, and reliability is whether it just works without falling apart on you. Craft is one that's a little harder to pin down, because craft is about interface and the overall feel of the using Windows, the polish, the small details, whether things look like they belong together and behave the way you'd expect. And that area has been honestly messy for years. You can open settings and click through screens that clearly come from 3 or 4 completely different eras of Windows, all bolted together. So the fact that craft is now an actual name priority is a pretty encouraging sign of its own. There's also a fourth pillar that doesn't get brought up as often, and that one is community. The idea here is that Microsoft wants to rebuild a real base of fans and hobbyists around Windows. And I know how that comes across, a passionate fan community for an operating system in 2026. It sounds a little absurd, but if you were not around for the Windows 7 days, you might not realize that actually used to exist. There was that whole Windows 7 launch party thing everybody likes to mock, and fair enough, but the point underneath is real. People cared. The Windows 7 beta especially, people installed it and they actually liked it. Dig up all discussions from that time and the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. Just try throwing a launch party for Windows 11 today and Microsoft would get torn apart for it, and honestly, they have earned that reaction. So there's a serious uphill climb on the community pillar, but I understand why it made the list. Worth knowing too, this isn't a one-month thing. It was put together back in the second half of 2025, and Microsoft is aiming to have Windows 11 in a better place by the end of 26, heading into 27. Now, here's the part that takes K2 from interesting leak to something you can actually point at, because some of the things are already shipping and real. Start with Windows Update, for example, which has been butt of Windows jokes for as long as I can remember. A few things are changing. For example, you're getting shutdown and restart options that don't drag an update along with them. So if you just need a quick reboot, you're not stuck staring at the progress bar for several minutes. They're also working on the pause feature. You'll be able to pause updates for up to 35 days at a time, and then just renew that pause over and over again, basically forever if you want. Now, I'd never actually tell you to do that, but because those monthly security patches really do matter and you don't want to fall way behind on them. But the point is, it becomes your decision instead of something Microsoft forces you. There's also the ability to skip updates during the initial setup of a fresh install. Right now, Windows basically holds you hostage and makes you sit through updates before it will even let you reach the desktop. As somebody who spins up fresh test installs constantly, that one alone is going to save me a lot of seriously irritating amount of time. And Microsoft has even floated a longer-term goal of getting Windows reliable enough that you'd only need to restart it about once a month. Then there's a control feature rollouts, which is something I ranted about before. That's where Microsoft announces a big update packed with new features, you install it, and then nothing. Because they only switch the features on for a slice of users at a time, so you get all the hype and none of the actual feature. With the Insider program, the preview builds you opt into, they're moving away from that, so testers actually get the stuff they sign up to test. And in my opinion, that's how it always should have worked. I get doing slow rollouts on the normal stable version everyone runs in case a feature has a nasty bug. That logic holds, but doing it to testers never made any sense. On the interface side, the big one is the Start menu, which is being rebuilt from the ground up using native code instead of the slower web-based approach they've been leaning on, supposedly landing around 60% faster and more customizable. They're also pulling the ads out of the Start menu, which, the fact that there were ads in your Start menu in the first place is its own conversation. And they're bringing back the ability to move and resize the taskbar, a feature people have been asking for since basically day one of Windows 11. Okay, so that's the plan. Here's where it stops being a leak and turns into something you can actually install, because the updates Microsoft pushed out this May line up with K2 almost suspiciously well. The headline feature is Xbox mode. This is a replacement for the all game mode and that full screen setup that first showed up on the Windows gaming handhelds. The idea is it gives you a streamlined console type full screen environment for gaming where the Xbox interface basically takes over as the shell. Background clutter gets trimmed down and there's less junk competing with your system attention. And this one isn't a slow rollout, it's going out to everyone, which on its own is a small but telling sign that they actually listen on the rollout complaint. But the part that really has K2's fingerprints all over it is the File Explorer work. They fixed that obnoxious white flash you get when opening or resizing a window, the flashbang basically. Explorer launches a little quicker now. It handles more archive formats natively, so a few more types of compressed files just open without needing a separate tool. And finally, your view and sort settings actually stick for folders instead of randomly resetting on you. So none of that is flashy, nobody's making a hype trailer for your folder settings stay put. But that's exactly the point. That's the unglamorous, fix the stuff people touch everyday work that frankly should be happening all along. There's a pile of smaller stuff too. They finally raised the FAT32 formatting limit. Windows used to cap at 32 gigabytes, which was never an actual limitation of the file system, just an arbitrary Windows ceiling, and now you can go up to 2 terabytes. There's a haptic feedback being added across the system for devices that support it. The all-run dialog got a visual refresh. Little things, but they add up, and they all point to the same direction. So where does all this leave us? Honestly, I'm cautiously optimistic, and I don't say that about Windows news very often. A shift toward quality is the kind of thing I always get behind. And it's worth remembering, Windows didn't always run this way. Go back to the Windows XP or Windows 7 era, and updates didn't come pouring out of every single month. You had service packs, which might show up maybe once a year, and back then a lot of people couldn't just pull down a huge file over a slow connection. So big updates literally went on the physical disk. And what that did is force a higher bar. You had to get the thing right before it shipped, because there was no quietly patching it next Tuesday. That pressure is gone now, and I think the endless update treadmill quietly let quality slide because there's always a "we'll fix it later." I'm also glad performance made the list and not just bug fixes. Bugs are the obvious target, but performance is the thing you actually feel every single day. It's the difference between Windows feeling pleasant to use and Windows feeling like a core. And really, the reason Windows' reputation took such a beating these past couple of years comes down to Microsoft pouring energy into stuff nobody asked for. Copilot buttons everywhere. AI wedged into Notepad of all places, while the basic everyday things stay slow and clunky. That sends a message that the priorities are scrambled. So if K2 is genuine, it's Microsoft finally aiming at the right target. And the reason I'm willing to give it a little more credit than usual is exactly because this came out through a leak. This wasn't a polished announcement built to win people back. It was an internal thing we weren't supposed to see, and internal plans that aren't meant for marketing tend to be a bit more honest about what a company actually tends to do. But I could be wrong. Maybe it ends up being the same promises we heard before, just with a code name attached. So I really do want to hear from you. Do you think this is a real turning point for Windows, or is it going to quietly fizzle out like the last few times? So drop a comment below and let me know where you land on it. And if you got something out of this video, hit the thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed yet, go ahead and hit that as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.